They say nothing in life is certain except death and taxes. But if we had to make a third thing in this equation, it would be volcanic eruptions. Humanity has been around for tens of thousands of years, and during that time, we've seen our fair share of volcanic eruptions. We have no idea how many volcanoes have erupted throughout history, but luckily, science gives us some clues about our fiery past. It's estimated that 500 million years ago, the Earth experienced a cataclysmic volcanic eruption that led to the formation of the modern continents. Since then, volcanoes have been shaping the Earth and its inhabitants like clay on an artist's palette. We at the Infographics show you the power of nature with top 10 craziest volcanoes of all time. Number 10, Krakatoa, Indonesia. The Indonesian island of Krakatoa consists of 3 separate volcanoes. It gained notoriety in 1883 when it unleashed one of the deadliest and most destructive eruptions in recorded history. At 10 a.m. local time on August 27, 1883, after several days of violent eruptions, Krakatoa erupted violently, sending an estimated 36 cubic kilometers of ash and pumice into the atmosphere. This created a cloud reaching heights of 33 kilometers. The explosion was heard up to 2,000 kilometers away in Australia, and the shockwave from the blast killed more than 36,000 people in Indonesia. This eruption had such a huge impact on the world that it caused significant changes in barometric pressure across the globe and even disrupted telegraph communications between Europe and Asia. Number 9. Mount Pelée, Martinique. On May 8, 1902, at 9:30 a.m., Mount Pelée erupted in Martinique. What makes this volcano so notorious is that it wiped out the entire city of Saint-Pierre. The devastation was caused by a pyroclastic flow, a fast-moving current of hot gas and ash that rushed down the volcano's slopes and engulfed the city. In total, over 30,000 people lost their lives. The only 2 survivors were a man locked up in a jail cell and a woman who was sheltering in a concrete factory. She sustained serious injuries but survived. Her story was later made into a film called Woman on the Edge. Number 8. Vesuvius, Italy. You may have heard the tale of Pompeii, the Roman city that was destroyed by Mount Vesuvius in 79 AD. The eruption is thought to have been one of the deadliest in history, killing thousands of people and leaving the city buried under tons of volcanic ash. Recent research has shown that the death toll was likely much lower than previously thought, with some estimates putting it at just under 3,000 people. But what makes this event so important is the impact it had on art, literature and culture. The destruction of Pompeii became a popular subject in paintings, sculptures and other works of art during the Renaissance and has continued to inspire artists ever since. One of the most famous works of art inspired by Pompeii is the 18th century painting The Death of Pompeii by Johann Baptist Canaletto. Number 7. Mount Unen, Japan. Mount Unen is one of the most dangerous volcanoes in Japan. It's located on the southern coast of Hokkaido and is active with a summit that towers over the sea. On October 5, 1946, a violent steam explosion caused a massive landslide and sent a tsunami crashing into the nearby city of Urahoro. Over 150 meters high, this was one of the biggest landslides in Japanese history, and it wiped out the town. An estimated 2,000 people died in the disaster. Since then, the area has been rebuilt, and the people of Urakawa have learned to live alongside the volcano. Number 6. Mount Pinatubo, Philippines. Mount Pinatubo is an active stratovolcano located on the island of Luzon in the Philippines. It is the country's most dangerous volcano and has a history of violent eruptions. In June 1991, after a series of minor earthquakes, the volcano erupted in a massive explosion, which was one of the largest volcanic eruptions of the 20th century. It ejected over 15 million tons of sulfur dioxide into the atmosphere, causing widespread damage and displacing thousands of people. Despite its dangers, Mount Pinatubo is still home to a number of endangered species, including the Philippine eagle and the Philippine crocodile. Number 5. Novarupta, Alaska. On June 6, 1912, Novarupta, located near Katmai National Park in south-central Alaska, erupted. It was one of the most violent eruptions of the 20th century and released 38 billion cubic meters of material, covering an area of 3,700 square kilometers. The eruption column reached a height of 35 kilometers and could be seen from hundreds of kilometers away. The explosions from the volcano continued for 6 days and were heard as far away as Seattle, Washington, over 2,000 kilometers from the volcano. Ash from the eruption covered much of south-central Alaska and western central Canada, and even reached Europe and the Arctic. Number 4, Mount Mazama, California. Mount Mazama is the remnant of a massive volcano that once stood 3,000 meters high. Located in the Cascade Range, the volcano began its life around 600,000 years ago. However, around 7,700 years ago, it experienced a cataclysmic eruption that emptied much of its magma chamber. The eruption was so powerful that it left behind a massive caldera that is now home to Crater Lake, one of the deepest lakes in North America. Today, visitors can explore the area around the lake and take in the stunning views of this unique natural wonder. Number 3, Cherro Grande de Comitán, Mexico. Cherro Grande de Comitán is an active volcano in the state of Chiapas in southern Mexico. It is the highest peak in the state and towers over the surrounding rainforest. On November 19, 1980, it erupted for the first time in more than 500 years, sending ash and lava down its slopes and forcing thousands of people to evacuate. The eruption caught the Mexican authorities off guard, and there was little warning before it occurred. The sudden eruption was so powerful that it caused significant damage to the surrounding areas and forced many people to abandon their homes. Luckily, there were no casualties. Number 2, Mount St. Helens, Washington State. Mount St. Helens is an active stratovolcano located in Washington State, USA. It is the most active volcano in the Cascade Volcanic Arc and is also the most dangerous. On May 18, 1980, at 8:32 a.m., a magnitude 5.1 earthquake struck the mountain, causing a massive landslide and exposing the magma chamber below. At 4:35 p.m., the volcano erupted in a spectacular display of fire and ash that shot miles into the sky. The eruption was the deadliest in U.S. history and killed 57 people. Number 1, Yellowstone Caldera, Wyoming. The Yellowstone Supervolcano in Wyoming is one of the largest and most active geothermal areas on Earth. It is home to the world's largest concentration of geysers and hot springs, including the famous Old Faithful. But don't let its beauty fool you. Yellowstone is a ticking time bomb that has the potential to blow at any moment. In 640,000 BC, it experienced the largest eruption in history, creating the Yellowstone Caldera. This mega eruption released an estimated 2,500 cubic kilometers of ash and pumice and was 3,000 times more powerful than the 1980 eruption of Mount St. Helens. If Yellowstone were to erupt again, it would cause widespread devastation and global climate change. Scientists are closely monitoring the volcano to try and predict when it might blow again. Yellowstone National Park is home to more than just bison and geysers. It's also home to one of the most active supervolcanoes in the world. The park's namesake, Yellowstone Caldera, is a massive crater formed by the supervolcano's past eruptions. But don't worry, there's no need to pack your bags and head for the hills just yet. While scientists do monitor the volcano closely, there is no indication that it will erupt anytime soon. If you enjoyed this video, check out these other clips from our channel, and don't forget to subscribe.